Hi, in this video, I will show you how to answer AWS IAM interview questions in a structured senior level way. This is not about memorizing definitions, it's about answering clearly, confidently, and stopping at the right time. Before we talk about IAM itself, this is the framework I will use. Whenever an interviewer asks you to explain a service, they are subconsciously looking for this order: what it is, why it exists, its core components, how uses differ from roles, and how it's used in real projects. If you follow this order, your answer sounds organized and senior. Let me start with a one-line definition. IAM controls who can access AWS resources and what actions they are allowed to perform. I intentionally keep this short because interviewers reward clarity, not long definitions. IAM exists for three reasons. First, authentication, verifying who is the identity is. Second, authorization, deciding what identity is allowed to do. And third, secure access control, making sure permissions are enforced consistently across AWS. This is where interviewers start checking whether you understand security fundamentals. The core building blocks of IAM are users, groups, roles, and policies. Users and roles represent identities. Policies define permissions. Groups are simply a way to manage users at scale. At this stage, I deliberately avoid listing advanced features because the interviewer first wants to see if the basics are clear. This distinction is very important in interviews. IAM users are typically created for humans and use long-term credentials. IAM roles are designed for AWS services and applications, and they use temporary credentials provided by STS. In modern architectures, interviewers expect you to prefer roles over access keys wherever possible. These are strong interview signals. Always mention least privilege access. Always say you prefer roles instead of access keys. And clearly state that the credential should never be hard-coded. When interviewers hear this, they know you have worked in real environments. In real projects, developers usually authenticate using IAM users or federation. AWS services like EC2 or Lambda assume IAM roles to access other resources. Permissions are always defined through policies that match responsibility, not convenience. This shows that the IAM is not just theoretical, it's part of our daily operations. Now, let me answer this once fully exactly the way you can answer in an interview. Before that, you can recap the framework. For any question about any service, just follow this framework. What the service is, why it is existed, what is the components of the service, and what are the users' roles, the difference between this in this IAM, and what is the use case for this. Right. Now, I will give a final interview answer for this particular question so that you can use it in real interview. IAM, or Identity and Access Management, is an AWS service that controls who can access AWS resources and what actions they are allowed to perform. It exists to handle authentication and authorization securely and to enforce least privilege access. The core components of IAM are users, groups, roles, and policies. IAM users are typically created for humans with long-term credentials, while IAM roles are used by AWS services and applications and provide temporary credentials using STS. In real-world architectures, we prefer roles over access keys and design policies based on responsibility rather than convenience. I will pause here and let the interviewer decide where to go deeper. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. We will see another service in another video. Thank you.